Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to be short and abrupt, but let's dive right in. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to squeeze this in. It's almost 9 o'clock. It was a long day at the office and a long evening as well. And I still want to keep chipping away here. So we're going to get into Chapter 3, review boiler fittings. Fittings for safety, 3-1. This is the review. This is for educational or artistic purpose only. Please like, subscribe, or share. We do talk about the fascinating world of boilers on this channel and or ways to prepare for the exam or licensing to become a boiler operator or a stationary engineer, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st grade. If you're 1st grade, you probably don't need this video, but for the rest of us, then hey, for me, this is how I learn, and it helps me to download this information in the old memory bank up here. Believe it or not, you know these wild things called computers? You know who they were invented by? People like you and me. Just saying, human beings. And even we make mistakes. Imagine that. God, my age is showing. But there's wisdom with age. So anyway, diving right in before we get interrupted. The setting or adjusting of a safety valve should only be done by a multiple choice, state inspector, a person in charge of the shift, a qualified person who is familiar with the construction and operation of the safety valve, or a boiler inspector. And the answer is D. The setting or adjusting of a safety valve should only be done by a qualified person who's familiar with the construction and operation of a safety valve or the safety valve. Number 2, the blank is the operating pressure of a boiler as determined by the design and construction of the boiler in a conformance with the ASME code. Our choices are normal operating condition, safety valve blowdown, safety valve popping point, or maximum allowable working pressure. The maximum allowable working pressure is the operating pressure of a boiler as determined by the design and construction of the boiler in conformance with the ASME code. Number 3, safety valve on a boiler must be capable of discharging all the steam the boiler can generate without the pressure increasing more than blank above the maximum allowable working pressure. So our answer choices are 10%, 6 psi, 6%, or 10 psi. And the answer is the safety valve on a boiler must be capable of discharging all steam the boiler can generate without the pressure increasing more than 6% above the maximum allowable working pressure. 4, a blank test is a safety valve test performed to determine if a safety valve opens at the correct pressure. Accumulation, pop, capacity, or total force are our answers, and a pop test is a safety valve test performed to determine if a safety valve opens at the correct pressure. So a pop test is a safety valve test performed to see if the safety valve opens at the correct pressure. A fitting is a blank and is required for the operation of the boiler. Our choices are boiler system used to superheat steam, boiler system used to superheat steam, piece of equipment not directly attached to a boiler or component directly attached to a boiler. A fitting is a component directly attached to a boiler. Steam boilers have more than blank square feet of heating surface, require 2 or more safety valves. Our answers are 500, 1,000, 5,000, or 100 to choose from. The answer is steam boilers have more than 500 square feet of heating surface, require 2 or more safety valves. Thank you for being so considerate while I'm trying to knock this out. Blank is the predetermined pressure at which a safety valve opens and remains open until the pressure drops. The popping pressure. Oh, I didn't give you the multiple choice. So popping pressure is the predetermined pressure at which a safety valve opens and remains open until the pressure drops. Electric boilers exceeding blank kilowatts of input require 2 safety valves. We just discussed this. Our answers are 100, 1,000, 250, or 500. And electric boilers exceeding 500 kilowatts of input require 2 safety valves. Drains are placed at the lower section of the safety valve discharge piping to blank. Provide an alternate steam discharge direction, provide an opening for test equipment, allow air to enter during discharge, or remove any condensation that may form. Drains are placed at the lower section of a safety valve discharge piping to remove any condensation. So the answer is remove any condensation that may form. A blank test is used to establish the relief capacity of boiler safety valves. Is that an evaporation test, an accumulation test, a lift test, or a pop test? An accumulation test is used to establish the relief capacity of boiler safety valves. The blank is the part on a safety valve that increases the area of the safety valve disc to increase the total force. And our answers are huddling chamber, spring force, accumulation area, or valve bonnet. The huddling chamber is the part on a safety valve that increases the area of the safety valve disc to increase the force. Safety valve blank is a drop in pressure between popping pressure and receding pressure as a safety valve relieves boiler overpressure. Safety valve blank is a drop in pressure between popping pressure and receding pressure as a safety valve relieves boiler overpressure. The choices are maximum allowable working pressure, pop back pressure, blowdown, or huddling pressure. And the safety valve blowdown is a drop in pressure between popping pressure and receding pressure as a safety valve relieves boiler overpressure. While a blowdown does have an alternate use when blowing down boilers, in this particular instance, the safety valve drop in pressure is still referred to as a blowdown as well. It was confusing for me. I went back through and double checked myself to make sure that my information was accurate because it was confusing to me as well. But a safety valve blowdown is a drop in pressure between popping pressure and receding pressure as a safety valve relieves boiler overpressure. Boiler safety valves are placed blank of the boiler. Boiler safety valves are placed at the bottom of the steam drum, on the mud drum, near the middle of the steam drum, or at the highest part of the steam drum? The answer is boiler safety valves are placed at the highest part of the boiler, of the steam space of the boiler. Last question, the safety valve. Sorry, I was distracted by the dog and wife. The safety valve blank is the amount of steam that can be relieved by a safety valve. That's our dog Coconut. The choices are lift, blow down, blow back, or capacity. And the safety valve capacity is the amount of steam that can be relieved by a safety valve. So you can see how easily I was distracted by my own wife and dog, whom I am used to, and this nose hair that needs to come out, but I'll spare y'all. That'd probably be a more desirable video and get more likes and views, though, the pulling of my nose hairs. I know boilers don't seem to be too interesting these days. Anyway, that's it. That is section 3-1, and that covers my notes for fittings for safety on the review. Like, subscribe, share. Feel free to donate. I'll have an Ethereum Bitcoin address if you want to support the content creation. Thanks for your time, and I hope that this benefits you. Have a positive and productive day.